Velvet Vibes Entertainment. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Well, a big hello to everybody and welcome to Velvet Vibes Entertainment. I am Sumit, and today on Velvet Vibes Entertainment, we have a very special guest. Well, talking about him, he's from Nepali origin, but he's been here in the United States for quite some time, and then he has also worked in some of the most prestigious organizations, including the American Army, NSA, and also the CIA. Well, this is actually a history in itself where, for the very first time, a person from Nepali origin is actually representing Virginia 10 and also the United States in a bigger platform, that is the Congress. So representing the Democratic Party, he's also a candidate for Congress in the upcoming elections. So please welcome my guest for today, Mr. ADRIAN Pokharel. So Adrian, sir, welcome to Velvet Vibes Entertainment.
Oh, thank you, Sumitji, and thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. And to start off with, let's start off with a little background as well. So talking about you yourself, which part of Nepal were you born in?
I was born in Dharan, which is like an eastern part of Nepal, Dharan, Vijaypur, and I went to school there all the way to high school. Then I moved to Kathmandu for my college.
Okay, so and then how long has it been that you've been here in the United States? Because you've worked in like some of the prestigious organizations like the CIA and of course the American Army as well.
I came to the United States in 1995 as a student. So I've been here since 1995, so getting closer to 30 years, 29 years.
Wow, that's a long time. So talking about the CIA itself and the American Army, how's the experience working in such prestigious organizations?
It's amazing. I'm very proud every moment I got to serve our country in different perspective. However, coming from Nepal, not knowing English, and getting in all the way up to that level, it was a lot of struggles, right? But it also taught me how to be resilient and continue moving forward. You get to work in domestic to international and everything with a lot of high level people from defense to, serving the executive branch. Great experience.
Absolutely, and I'm sure that experience is definitely going to help you in the coming days as well, representing the people, and especially people from Virginia 10.
Absolutely. What I'm proud of it is altogether a combination of NSA, CIA, Army. I also work in law enforcement, the Houston Police Department, Railroad, Airlines, Homeland Security. All of this combination, knowing the diversity and how to, bring the people together, and also worked in international relation, foreign affairs. I also work as a political officer in the State Department. So that gives me a various type of experience. Furthermore, I was a trained ethical hacker. I know a lot of cyber side of it. And currently I'm about to graduate with my PhD in strategic security. My main focus on, AI and ML enable fully autonomous vehicle threat to national security. So all this combination of it, that will definitely help me to bring the new different perspective in the Congress. Not like regular seasoned politician, right? It's gonna give the different views, different set of eyes to come make sure our country is safe.
Definitely. And when we talk about Congress, so in general perspective, so what we think about as a Nepali is when we talk about Congress, we always refer to the political party. But then here in the United States, the Congress has a different role. It's in the legislative role. So would you please explain a little bit as to what Congress does?
Definitely. So, basically in the House of Representatives, we are making laws. I always say that I never serve a Democrat or Republican. I serve American. People ask me, what's your priority? I say, my priority is your needs. So making the law that will be beneficial for the people who will elect you to get there with the hope that you will fight for it, right? So everything we do is making sure we work on the legislative part of it, and a lot of times because it's a federal in Capitol Hill, the law, if it gets approved, that will be more than just in Virginia 10, but it should be nationwide.
Absolutely.
So
That is
basically
true.
ensuring that we are all protected in every aspect of it.
True, very true. There is one issue that I'm sure you would want to address as well, because I've seen that in your plan, in the upcoming plans too. This is regarding the mental health. Like especially these days, a lot of people are going through some mental turmoil, and then a lot of mental issues as well, mental health related. So what are your plans to address this issue, especially for the unsung heroes?
So, the mental health crisis is not only United States, it's a universal crisis. First, what I wanted to have this implement in a school, teaching children not only mental health, but also the law and STEM program from the elementary. So they get to know what does that mean. A lot of children right now are going through mental health crisis, and I realize that sometimes the word is stronger than the bullet. That bullet can kill you once, the words can kill you over and over. What I'm talking about, bullying, right? On the other aspect of it, as a military, as a person who was diagnosed with PTSD in 2014, initially I thought it's only in the military. Then I realized over time, researching and advocating for mental health, there are a lot of people, they've been sexually abused, they've been child abused, domestic violence. Even if you have an accident, for example, if somebody rear ends you, and next time you drive, if you see somebody like tailgating, that is gonna, make you like little nervous, right? That's a trauma, and that affects mental health. And recently, the pandemic that during the COVID, a lot of us, we didn't even get to say goodbye to our loved one, right? We cannot go back and change. The financial stress, the school shooting, the parents are thinking, right? The minute you hear there's a mass shooting, that it makes you like, where, how, what, where my kids are they safe? All of these things, right? So mental health is a lot larger. And unsung hero, I'm talking about intelligence community. As a military, I can share my deployment. As an intelligence officer, no, you cannot. You die with what you know, right? So, but as a human, it's stressful. And the police, for example, because under my unsung hero, intelligence community worker, they need to be protected. They need to have the all the resources they need. And the biggest thing is they need to get rid of the stigma about security clearance and all of that. As far as the police, the police every morning they get up, or every time their shift starts, they get up, put the uniform, and go out to the community for what? They go out there to ensure that we are safe, our community is safe, our children are safe, right? They also get trained how to deal with the people with the mental health issues. But what if they are the one who need it? We don't think about it, and we don't appreciate, because they don't know every time they leave the house to work, they don't know they will make it back home to see their family or not. Same thing with the fire department. Look at this, the emergency, the vehicle, the EMTs worker. Look at the healthcare worker. Thousands of people they were able to save during this COVID, but thousands of people, they could not save them. And it impacts their mental health. And mental health is a lot bigger. Right now, I'm running for Virginia District 10, and one of the county here is called Loudoun County. It's the richest county in America. And 49% of our children right now dealing with the mental health issues. And that's only those who decided to go and seek help. That means they are recorded. So imagine, what we are going through right now and how it's impacting mental health. I want to add one more thing. What is the scary part? That's MAGA extremists are bringing in the fear, and the Project 2025. What is also going to impact a lot of people, American people, on their mental health. So mental health. That's why I decided to, fight. My slogan is fighting for unsung heroes, because I was one of them. In 2014, I was closer to going to the wrong direction. There are 23 veterans commit suicide a day right now, and 150 American civilians, and it's all cause of mental health. Even the drugs kids are in, it's because of the mental health. So mental health is the biggest issue that we must focus right away.
Absolutely. Well, very well said. And that is one sector that I think all of us are looking forward to as well, to bring about some changes, some positive changes that's going to impact lives. So we also talked about the students and then regarding the education system. So what are your plans for Virginians, if I can say so? I don't know if that's even a word. So do we call the people from Virginia the Virginians?
Yeah.
Okay, we could do that. So do we have like any special packages or programs for students?
Recently our Governor Youngkin, veto about the military military education support for the families and all that. When it comes to education, we as an American, we spend billions and trillions of dollars all over the world. What I'm proposing is to establish a free community college for all Americans, not only Virginians, all Americans, because imagine our children, they finish the high school and they go to college and they're living in a dorm. They have the responsibility that's completely different environment they're going into. And they gotta work, pay the bills, pay the tuition. So what I'm proposing is, let's have free community college. That 2 years gives them that little time to how to become more independent. Also, those full-time student who's maintaining their grade level B or higher should be tax exempt from every single tax, so they don't have to work too many hours. Whatever their hourly paid they make, they will bring home so they can focus on their school. And if they finish 2-year college with grade level B or higher, there is a higher possibilities they will finish another 2 years and have a bachelor degree. Much easier than right now is struggling and they cannot figure out how to get into a new environment, going to college, community college, a lot of frustration, a lot of money involved. And as an American, one thing I say, we are number one country in the world for everything. But when it comes to taking care of our own people, taking care of our children, I don't think so. But we can do better.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to be a great initiative, and I'm sure that's going to benefit a lot of students as well. So besides... Yes, please.
One more thing I want to add before I forget, that I'm also proposing to eliminating unpaid internship.
Oh, wow. That's going to be another great step. And also now, the country that was built by the immigrants, are there any immigration reforms that you think is important to be implemented, amended, or need to be included in the current policies?
Absolutely. First of all, I would say, yes, we need to secure our border, right? Just like you want to make sure your house is protected, your family is protected. But the people, they're already living here for years and years and paying taxes and not having any path. For example, people on the TPS, they don't have any way to get their permanent resident or the citizenship. I want to make sure they have a path. The other part of it is, no matter what, years and years ago, people came to this country and they have no crime, nothing, and now they have family, children. Instead of waiting until your children turns in 18, I want the minor also can apply on behalf their parents before they turn 18 to get their legalization. Oh, wow. One of the things that I would say that we have enough criminals in our country. As you see what happened in January 6th, we don't need to go get more criminals from outside. We already have criminals within our country who attacked America and attacked Americans, and 9 lives were lost.
True.
So definitely, if any criminals, they need to be deported. But the people, they're here, that we got to find a way. Immigration reform. The other part, let me tell you, everybody comes to America for American dreams. There are a lot of talented students come here and goes to very reputed, university and all that and graduate. And, especially with this cyber war and internet, all of these things, right? Instead of keeping them in the country, we're outsourcing our jobs into another country like India, Bangalore.
True.
And they are here waiting on the H-1B so long. So we need to increase the H-1B so we can keep those talented people here who will contribute their services to secure our country. But the other part of it is those who has H-1B is taking 15, 20 years for their to get the green card. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense. They pay taxes for 15, 20 years. They have a family, their children are American citizen, and they have to stay for 15, 20 years without even knowing it, whether they're gonna get the green card or not. That is not fair. And I want to reduce the time to 5 to 7 years.
Absolutely, because yes,
they will know what to do.
We see that there is a lot of. We always hear that there is a big backlog, and probably that's the reason why it's taking so long for their status to be changed or to get any kind of benefits. So, do you think like this backlog was due to COVID, or there are some political reasons as well as to why there's so many cases that are pending?
The thing is, obviously, every time it says backlog, they talk about we don't have enough staff. But that's not the right excuse. If you don't have enough staff, you need to hire. Let me share with you that I came to this country as a student, right? And when I applied for my green card, it took over almost 4 years. And then when I applied for my citizenship, it took over 3.5 years. And I ended up filing a lawsuit against the government to understand what's going on. And when my case went to the federal court, the judge said, okay, this guy came here legally. He has no criminal record. He pays taxes. On the top of that, the biggest thing is he serves in the United States Army. What else do you need from him to prove he's a good person to be a U.S. citizen?
True.
Finally, after I filed the court case, within 2 weeks, I was I got my citizenship. But it cost me $7,000 serving this country, doing everything, putting my life in danger to serve for our democracy and freedom, ideology. And, I had to go through and imagine how many other people are going through. And then that's why as an immigrant, I have gone through a lot of different shoes, like a lot of other Americans.
So hopefully in the future, the immigration laws are going to be changed a little bit so that it's easier for people. And people, when I say people, I'm definitely meaning skilled workers who are already here, and I hope things are going to be easier, which is definitely going to benefit America at the end of the day. Another issue.
Absolutely, and I'm gonna propose to hire more people, and whatever it takes. And now with the AI, all this technology stuff, we should be able to do things much faster. There is no excuse.
Absolutely.
This is America. Mm-hmm. This is not a third world country that we don't have technology, we don't have resource. Is the intent, right? There is probably the political differences between Democrat, Republicans that's making it harder to, get the people their green card or permanent resident citizenship process. But the bottom line is what I always say is, we need to stop fighting between the parties. The fight between the parties should be focusing on the people, not their own, pride or whatsoever, any other reason,
So definitely with the such positive response, I'm sure it's going to head towards a positive direction in the future. Another issue that I would like to bring forward is the gun laws in America, because we know that we have the right to bear arms protected by the Second Amendment of the Constitution. But do you think regulating gun accessibility, or even say background check, and also banning the military type of assault rifles is important? Because I'm sure, and the reason I'm asking you this question is because I know like recently you also surrendered your AR-15 rifle. That was very symbolic.
Absolutely. Here's the thing. I support Second Amendment, but there is a difference between supporting Second Amendment and having, military style rifle at home. If you really think of it, do you really need military style rifle at home?
No.
But that was my choice to raise awareness that, sometimes to do the right thing, it's not easy. But as a leader, you start somewhere. Everybody talks about gun safety. I'm going to change this. I'm going to change that. But they also have their own, in their house, assault rifle. That doesn't make sense to me. I didn't have to have assault rifle. I can go to the range and use any kind of rifle if I wanted to fire anytime I want to. Although I'm well trained from the military and different perspective on all these weapons and safety and everything, but this is more about raising awareness. This is not telling people I'm going to take away your guns.
Exactly.
It's just like, hey, we got to work together, right? At the end of it, if you really think about it, earlier we talked about mental health, and then now we're talking about the gun. And look at the mass shooting, right? In January, February, March, within 3 months, 5,000 Americans lost their life. Nobody is talking about that. And is it important to save American lives or important to have assault rifle in your house? That is your choice. And I think people are educated enough to make the right choice. But I'm not saying government needs to go and grab guns from people.
Exactly. People actually have this misconception that when we talk about gun laws or regulating it, people think like they're going to take away the guns. They're not. It's always protected by the Second Amendment. We just want regulations and monitoring, and of course maybe some background check is also important to see as to who owns certain kinds of guns, and just making government aware that a certain amount of guns or firearms are here in the United States. So that way it's easier to track and to keep track of people as well.
Yeah, and then the other loophole we have is like if you go to gun show and purchase gun, there is no track of who has. We're not tracking to, in the other way, but we want to know how many guns out there, and if somehow get lost, how to report whatsoever. And people want to go to the gun show and buy the gun. And, that's why I say the sensible gun laws, the waiting period, universal background check, all those are important. Let me say this, working in the NSA and CIA, when it requires the highest level of security clearance, right?
True.
How many Americans are able to get that there? But once you get there, that means you are trusted, right? Government trusts you to do the things. And all I'm asking is giving somebody a gun. Let's make sure we do everything that possible that we can trust the individual to handle the weapon safely. And if they don't need, I know for self-defense, a Glock is enough to have it at home. A lot of people after I turn in, they say, well, he's going to buy it. No, I have my, regular Glock at my home for self-defense. I'm just turning the military style rifle. A lot of people say, oh, this is not this type and that type. No, if you really look at it, only the difference is fully automatic and none, and that you can modify that at home easily. So this is something we need to understand, because I know as a military veteran, I've used several types of weapons as an intelligence officer and all of that. These are a dangerous weapon. And also the distance wise, they can shoot from the distance and can cause a mass shooting.
Absolutely. We saw that one in Vegas as well. A few years ago, there was a mass shooting.
Yeah, absolutely. And people say, it's people kills people, not the guns. They need to understand, if the person goes, say, punch somebody or stab somebody, how long does it take that versus a person with a high capacity magazine and firing power, sitting just like a Vegas, right, on the top of the hotel, he starts shooting. Absolutely. And how long does it take? And people need to understand this. We are all educated.
Very true, because the damage is you just can't compare the damage.
Exactly.
Also, because a state like Texas, where I lived before, they used to have CCW and then open carry laws. I think we definitely need to do something about the gun laws, because you can easily do an open carry in many states, and that can at times does become a nuisance and safety concerning issues as well. So definitely we do need gun reforms in America, and I'm definitely for it.
The simple thing I want you to ask people. And I'm going to ask you as well, right? You're sitting at your house and looking outside the window, and you see nice quiet road, no police siren going on, nothing's happening, very peaceful. Would you prefer that, or you want to see 6, 7 guys and girls carrying assault rifle walking around in your street? Which one makes you feel more safe?
Definitely the first one. Definitely.
Exactly.
Also, now, since you're a candidate for Congress, another question that I wanted to ask you is, when a person here in the United States has a single felony, they are, there are so many things that they cannot do, right from renting an apartment to getting a job to different things. It does affect them a lot. But then, I want to talk about Donald Trump, who has been indicted and then convicted of 34 counts of felony and yet is running for the presidency. Is there a loophole here in the American political system as to somebody who's convicted of 34 counts is still able to run for the presidency?
You brought a very interesting question. I've been putting on the social media back in the days when the eligibility to run for the president, it was never mentioned about, convicted felon and all of these things. The requirement is, he's 35 years old, 14 years living in the place and XYZ, but there's nothing mentioned. And I'm very surprised a convicted felon cannot vote, but they can run for the president. The other part of it is, coming as an intelligence officer, if there is only 0.0001% of the things what he has done, I have done it, I would probably never get the security clearance. As a president, you get the top security clearance to make sure you know everything. And the other part, I was researching, they say a president has a unique authority. They don't have to go through like regular public with a background check, background investigation. And I'm like, okay, is that what? The president is above the law? I think we all have the same law. And I'm totally against it. I already demand Donald Trump needs to drop out of this, election. And then we, as Americans, need to work if that's what it's going to take. And he needs to go to the jail or whatever the consequences is. And that needs to be fair for all American people. It's not about him as a.
We also need to set an example.
Being American, upholding what we truly believe, what we preach. A lot of leaders, you will see the seasoned politician, they will talk very nicely, but I'm coming from military. I truly uphold what I preach. And in my opinion, if he is convicted of the crime, he needs to face whatever the punishment like any other regular American would face.
Absolutely. I absolutely believe in that as well. I know you're a very busy person and we have an election coming up as well. And apart from what we have talked about, I'm sure there are very other important and significant things in your plans as well that maybe we have not talked about. Would you like to share any of those plans or project with us today?
So a lot of things we talk about, basically everything focuses on mental health because it comes down to the mental health. I always say your brain is a hard drive, and when it has a problem with the hard drive, no matter whatever you create a software and trying to upload, it's going to crash. It's not going to fix, right? The other part of it is the equality and equity we talk about even within the Democrat. But as you see, without naming it, you will see in the politics, I challenge all of those politicians who preach, uphold what you preach. If you cannot, probably you're not in the right place. People are going to know today, tomorrow, or someday that you are doing nothing but BSing to the people to gain vote. If somebody needs a leader who can actually work, coming into the election, talking to the people is, I'm trying to be a servant leader to serve the people of the district and whole America. Also, we need to think about foreign relationship. Right now, I mean, even last election, we talk about, Russian influence and all of these things, and I can see the increasing Russian influence. What's happening? There is a Project 2025. If everything the way it is, and if tomorrow Donald Trump gets elected, on the first day, he's going to turn around on the Ukraine. That means Russia is going to take over the Ukraine, and that is not the end of it. That would be a beginning for Russia, and that is a big threat and instability in the Europe. And because of that might prompt China to attack Taiwan. That's been going on, and China's aggression is, we all know, they're all over the world, and that's going to create another instability in Asian Pacific, along with, as you know, North Korean leader, he goes crazy, and he probably used some those deadly missiles to attack around, different places, and that is going to be really a mess. We already have a mess in, Middle East with the Hamas and Israel. So we need to understand how all of these things plays, because right now American politics are, also it's a part of the geopolitical, issues, and we gotta handle it. Otherwise, it's going to be very out of control and very soon. And America is not going to be America the way we have right now. It's time for not only Democrat, all those civilized Republican to think through it. And it's not the time to be loyal to the party. It's time to be loyal to the country, loyal to the people of this country, America.
Absolutely.
And it's time to save America from everything, especially this radicalized MAGA extremists influenced by Russian Putin and his plan to destroy us by creating fight within.
True, very true. Now after listening to your insight, I can definitely say that we need more people like you, not just in Virginia, but in the central government as well, so that these things can be implemented to make America a better place to live. Absolutely. And now let's talk about the election itself. I think the first round or the pre-elections has already started. So when is the election date, and any message that you want to give out to people of Virginia, or say the people of the United States itself?
So the early voting already started. Actual election date is June 18th, 2024. All I want to ask to all Americans, I had a good job at CIA. I was making nice, handsome pay and living my life. But when I see, 2 times that I cried a lot, when I saw 9/11 incident, what caused me to join the military, I heard the country was calling me to join and, say, fight for our democracy. Let them know that don't mess with America and we will come hard on you. That's when I joined the military. But my heart cried very hard, seeing thousands of innocent lives were lost in New York City. And then when I saw in January 6th event in Capitol that America was attacked by American, and American lost their life, something I have never ever thought about it. The National Guard was deployed over there. I was just thinking over time that, hey, what happens if I was there as a National Guard and another American comes there to hurt? What I need to do, how would I do it? Mental think, the pressure, right? And eventually all of these things going on, that now I decided, I need to get out and do more with all the skills and knowledge and experience I have earned. It's time for me, from defending our democracy to secure our democracy within. I've been always fighting for the country who wants to harm us, like whether there's a foreign or domestic enemies and adversaries or criminals, right? Drugs, drug cartel, everyone. And this time it comes about our country, our people, American ideology, American freedom. So all voters, I want you to research. I want you to understand what I'm talking about. Your one decision can be very harmful by not picking the right person on this fight. I am not here, just thinking about Virginia. I'm thinking about all Americans in America and around the world. I have every opportunity America has given me. I have never let our country down, and I will never let you down. But please, take a time to understand, read about each candidates, their background. U.S. government trusted me with the highest level of clearance. That's how I got to work in NSA, CIA, executive branch, all of these things. So please understand, I would not give up my job. I would not take out a loan from my house to fight if I was not fighting for a cause. And with my experience and degree, I can go back and work and I'll be fine. But I am not thinking about me. It's all about, others. One thing I realize is I came with nothing and I will die with nothing. In the meantime, I wanted to leave something for the people, for our children, our kids, who are suffering in many ways. It's time to think what is right, what is wrong, more than what party and what individual. Think about it.
Well, thank you very much, and we're definitely looking forward to seeing you in Congress and making all those positive changes to benefit America as a whole. Well, thank you very much, and best wishes to you for the upcoming elections.
Thank you, and God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you to everybody watching me right now. And if you do want to contribute to these amazing plans and want to see Mr. ADRIAN Pokharel represent all of us in the Congress, please support by clicking on the link that will be provided in the comment section. Well, once again, thank you very much. And thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. And until we meet again, this is Sumit signing off from Velvet Vibes Entertainment. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.